All right, all right, all right. Welcome to FaBled Hunters.
I'm James,
I'm Ada.
I'm Saint.
and we're going to talk about some flesh and blood.
I'd like to do a lightning round, if possible.
Yep.
Just
All right, let's go.
Wonderful. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's trek on. I hope I'm not digging too deep, but I've speculated on this. I've talked about it without giving too much away, James. How far away is the player versus environment, our PvE format? Am I completely doing tinfoil hat stuff?
Look, we're working on some things. It's definitely coming.
Wow.
Okay. That already says enough. So I'm not crazy. Some people say I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. It's definitely coming. You heard it here. Had to get that out of the way. Okay. James, it's known to most people that you've got over 2 decades of experience in the world of TCGs and have been more and more successful with each venture that you've been involved with. So what concerns do you have about Flesh and Blood as it starts eating into the market share of the big boys, the Hasbros, the Pokemon Company, the Yu-Gi-Oh, which I think is Konami? What concerns do you have?
I think that each of these products are offering different
Yeah.
qualities and experiences to the consumers, and I think it's great that consumers have choices available in the market. So, I mean, Magic's doing great. Magic's doing, all-time records. So the shareholders at Hasbro, they're probably, they're very happy.
Yeah.
Um,
Not so much the players or collectors, though, but the shareholders are happy, right?
The shareholders are happy. Yeah, maybe not the retailers and the players so much, but the shareholders are happy. So, look, Magic's is growing really, really fast, and they're doing a great job, and they're making some cool products, and the Magic has become a different thing than it used to be. Just it is what it is.
Understood.
Pokemon's doing great. I have a lot of respect for Pokemon, man. Like, they're very true to what they're about, and I think that they're just going to continue doing well for many years to come. Just again, like, I'm not really too concerned. I think that if all of the companies and all of the products can just compete on the merits and their strengths, and at the end of the day, the consumer and the retailers support the products which are perceived to be creating value.
Yep.
For people's lives, and
Definitely.
just the market will decide.
Let the market decide. That's really zen and really cool. Live and let live as well. Just do your best to keep pushing that LSS train forward.
Just do your best.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
But this leads me directly to my next question, because in recent months, LSS has needed to smooth over hiccups like the shipping delays of Monarch due to the Suez Canal obstruction, and then there's the Monarch Unlimited thing. I think that was definitely Cardamundi's fault. Nobody in your watch did that. So the actions that you took reflect a clear focus on accountability and taking ownership for mistakes. What can you share with us about just the general importance of accountability and ownership for your business, the TCG space, the business in general? What advice can you give to us about that?
Just do what you say you're going to do. When you say you're going to do something, do it. And if for whatever reason you can't deliver on that, just own up to it and do your best to try and make the situation right. It's just pretty simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for giving us that insight, and thanks for just responding, acting so fast to take ownership and accountability.
Yeah, it was shocking. I was very, very upset. I was very upset and very angry to find out about that. But, look, we appreciate and value and respect our customers, whether they're the retailers or the end users, the fans around the world, and we just want to, do the best that we can to create value in the lives of each of our stakeholders, being the retailers and the fans, and just never take them for granted. So, sometimes we always try our best, but sometimes things don't go to plan. Sometimes things are outside your control, and when these things happen, we just do our best to try and make the situation the best that it can be for those who are affected.
Yep. And you guys have definitely done that. You and your team with your transparency and just your reaction speed to make things right. Well, I understand, and this is very recent news. I understand that LSS is looking to increase production and use printers in multiple continents. What was the thought process behind that decision?
I mean, just simply that we can't make enough flesh and blood out of Belgium to get anywhere close to the demand levels around the world. The player base is growing so fast. The number of stores for selling flesh and blood is growing so fast, and the only way that we can actually service this growing community is by having additional production facilities. So it's really as simple as that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Also, this is one from the non-American parts of the community. They ask, with the introduction of flesh and blood in multiple languages, obviously with the fate foreseen in traditional Chinese, will the buyers of non-English products also have access to first edition cold foils in those foreign languages, or is that only reserved for English for now?
We're still deciding
Okay.
how we are going to manage this in a sensible and reasonable way for fans all around the world. It's important that we get it right, and we haven't decided yet the best way to approach this.
James, what do you think separates Flesh and Blood from your competitors and from a playability and collectability standpoint? I know it's been asked of you before, but there seems to be, this has been asked, but there's still a group of collectors and players in the TCG community that are on the fence. If there's one thing that you can tell somebody who's not already in part of this Fab community, what are you going to tell them? What would you tell them to win them over?
Well, if you're all about playing trading card games competitively, like the big thing about Flesh and Blood is that every single game is a great game. You get to actually participate in the game. There is no variation to our resource system where there are non-games. Every game you actually get to participate, you get to progress your game plan every single turn of the game. So like that's a really, really big deal. And we have reduced the variance a lot compared to other trading card games. There needs to be some amount of variance, but we certainly reduced the amount compared to other games in the market, to the point where the vast majority of the time the best player does win, and we see it through our high-level OP programs that have run in New Zealand to date because of COVID. That's where most of the high-level competitive OP activity has taken place, and it is sort of a tight group of elite players who have done most of the winning, and that is reflective of the fact that we've built a competitive trading card game with a game system that rewards good decisions, not good luck. And we make no qualms about that. I think that from a collectability point of view, a really key point of difference is that we have cards which are generally just very, very scarce. In other games, like just the way that the DNA of something like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh, or pretty much any game that's come out, you can't make cards which are as rare as cards are in Flesh and Blood. And the reason why you can do it in Flesh and Blood is because you only need one copy of them, whether it's a Fendel Spring Tunic or an Eye of Ophidia or whatever. Like you only need one of this card.
Yeah.
And that means that we can actually make these cards really, 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 really rare.
Yeah.
Comparable to other trading card games. So like it's not just here's a card and it's easy to get, and then there's like an alternate art version of it which is really hard to get. Like the alternate art version, it's kind of like fake scarcity. Because you can just go and get like an easy to get version to play with in your deck. Like Flesh and Blood is like legit scarcity. It's
real
hard
scarcity.
to get it's real scarcity. It's hard to get an Eye of Ophidia. It's hard to get a Heart of Fendel. It's hard to get a Fendel Spring Tunic. But it's not at the level where it's just like this unreasonable barrier to ever play the game. It's like, buy your Spring Tunics, pay, a couple $100 or whatever, and you've got this card that you can play with for years and years and years and years, and your $200 investment is going to see you right for a long time.
And maybe
and
even go up. Yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. And you only need to buy one of them for your deck. So, like when you think about a play set of Legendary, a play set is one.
Yeah.
So like $200 for a play set of something, in my opinion, is just that's okay. But that design DNA of Flesh and Blood allowed us to create genuine scarcity, which feeds through to it being a great collectible.
Wow. Okay. And you're absolutely right. On both ends, I just want to reiterate, like, Ada and I have a 25-year experience gap. But when we threw down, and we played, and the videos are going to come out, when we threw down, the final score was like 2-0. And we were both super engaged. She was in it. I was in it. Made a couple of little decisions that turned the game around. And, I grinded out the win. But at the end of the day, the player with the most experience, the pro players, seem to always drift to the top, and they're rewarded for their practice, for their decisions, and variance is very, very low. So you're absolutely right.
I can just add one more thing. I think that Flesh and Blood is actually just pretty exciting. Like, it's action-packed from turn one. Like, on turn one, you are doing, like, the most powerful stuff that your deck can do. There is no of this, like, slow, just, like, build up. It's just, like, fast-paced action from turn one. I think that's, like, pretty exciting.
Absolutely. We're going at it, and we did, even when we did Ira versus Ira, we're slashing each other, and we're throwing down, and we're both interacting, and that's super fun. It's not like playing solitaire, like, oh, I'm a wizard on this mountain, and I mean, it was fun when it came out, Magic in '93, but this is something completely different. It's interactive. It's just so much action and so fun. Okay, well, if you would allow, I got a couple of questions on a bonus round. I'm gonna quickly go through them. Just really quick, when you were playing Magic competitively, James, did you ever think that there'd be one day where you'd be the creator and driving force of your own trading card game, and that you'd actually give the bigs like Hasbro a run for their money? What was the moment that Fab's Flesh and Blood became your life's work, and dare I say your obsession?
Yeah, I've seen on multiple interviews over the years. It was the birth of my daughter in 2012. It was that catalyst moment of, like, if we're going to do something, we've got to do it now.
Okay.
And to be that role model for her, that when you believe in something, that you should try your best to make it happen. And even if you fail, it's okay, but trying is the important thing. And look, I always believed that we could make a great game, that there was opportunity in the trading card game industry to for another product to exist and to offer something new and different to fans of trading card games. And, it was going to be really, really, really hard. And, maybe we succeed, maybe we fail. But the point is that if we never try, we'll never know. So, like, I wanted to be that example for her, that when you're passionate about something, when you believe in something, that you should try your best to make it happen. So that's what we did. And look, I'm crazy enough to try, and I'm crazy enough to believe that we could be successful. And, so far, I think that we've done a pretty good job on
absolutely
creating something new and fresh and exciting for people. People seem to like it.
Yeah. That's the understatement of the interview. People seem to like it. A lot of people seem to like it. And it's my opinion, this is only the start. You took that first step in 2012, and now I think it's just the beginning of you're reaping the rewards of your hard work from 9 years ago, and we hope that it's just gonna keep moving forward.
Thank you.
Just curious, one of our very famous and well-known FaBled champions, cold foil champions, was Jacob Pearson, and now he's hung it up, he's retired, and he's part of your team. Now, is he still actively playing and kicking butts and part of the development and the balancing team, I guess, of your company?
Yeah, so Jacob has joined LSS as a developer a few months ago.
Okay.
And yeah, look, our dev team, they are quite active in our local community as well. So they do go down to armories and skirmishes and so on.
Oh, really?
There's some events that they're not allowed to play at.
Okay.
But at the events that they are eligible to participate at, that that you often find them in the stores on the weekends playing, and Jacob does do a lot of winning.
Okay.
At those in-store events.
I've heard. Just curious. You, James White in your prime versus Jacob Pearson. Who would take it in a best of 10 in Fab?
Oh, I don't want to say it.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay. You don't need to answer that. I think you've said
Okay, we
enough.
got the
Yes,
answer.
we got the answer.
No, these days, mate, Jacob, buddy, he'll show me a thing or two. The guy's very, very talented. He's very talented.
We've heard and yep.
Oh, look at all my great hairs. I'm past my prime on playing these games. I just know how to design them and run the business and hire people who are smarter than me, like Jacob Pearson. That's my job these days, is hiring the people who are smarter than me.
Yes.
And things like game development, which is the people like Jacob Pearson and the Jason Chungs and so on. So that's my job, to surround myself with people smarter than me.
Yes.
Truly spoken like a CEO, like a very successful CEO, James. Thanks. Oh, by the way, speaking of being a CEO, you're the boss when you're walking around in LSS, and there have been some nicknames that the community have, the Fab community have given you.
Gifted.
Yeah, has gifted you. Do you have any nicknames that you know of around the LSS offices?
Probably shouldn't say.
Well, hey, I'll tell you that there have been
Ask my
some.
staff, man.
Yeah. Okay, we'll leave it up to the staff. You don't want to say. I just wanted to say, what do you think of these nicknames that have been thrown around in the Facebook Flesh and Blood community? So far, I've got J-Dubs, yay or nay? J-Dubs, JW is okay. J-Dubs.
JW, yep.
Okay, that's good. Excellent. How about Fab Jesus? Fab Jesus? Yes or no?
Oh, it's disrespectful to the real man.
Okay. Disrespectful. Got it. So Fab Jesus and TC Jesus, no go. Got it. Okay. Well, we'll keep the rest of the nicknames a mystery, because even if you know them as a CEO, some of them are not flattering. Maybe something like that guy, or I have my own nicknames at work, so I get it. That's fair. We'll leave that alone. Okay, last one, because you've been so generous with your time. We appreciate it. James, what is your favorite class in the world of Flesh and Blood?
Wizard, by far.
Wizard by far?
Yeah, not even close.
Really? Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't say many nice things about Kano. So, is it Kano specifically, or there are other wizards that you like more than Kano in the future of Flesh and Blood? Or is Kano your favorite?
I think Kano's just my favorite, actually, but there are other wizards that are cool.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll try to go easy on Kano. I just didn't like him because he had the least health points, so that's my justification. And he's also very cheap, that he can basically, he has his own turn, and he has the opponent's turn to play cards on, and that's a little like, I hope you get it, right? Like, he has 2 turns basically, or every turn is Kano's turn, right? So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the intent, and that might be why you like him the most. That's fair. Yeah, we don't want to keep you forever.
He's the underdog, right?
He's the underdog.
Okay. He starts
why you
out
like
with
it.
less life points, 5 or 10 less life points. Okay.
Yeah, it's like the reflection of my life. He's the underdog up against the big guys, but he's got to use his brain
Yeah.
to
Okay.
overcome. All right, that's kind of how I see the wizard.
Okay, David versus Goliath. That's a
Story
fair
of my life.
narrative.
Story of my life, mate.
Okay, I can respect that. I totally get it as just, somebody that started with nothing in New York City, fighting against the banks and, a woman in marketing. So I think we all share that. And it's such a beautiful story when it comes together, but a lot of people don't appreciate the struggle, the hours, the work, the sacrifice that goes in there. So nothing but respect here, James. I guess we all
It's a
understand
story
here.
for another day, Saint. Another day.
Absolutely. Hey, in closing, we were just wondering, did you have anything that we didn't ask yet that you wanted the community to know? Did you have any questions for us or anything? Just anything to leave the Fab community with?
Look, just thank you very much again for all of your passion and support, and just to all of the fans around the world and the retailers. Just thank you for believing in us, and particularly during these COVID times where there hasn't been a lot of mobility to get out and engage in the organized play programs. I think there's been a lot of patience around the world from fans in particular to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that Flesh and Blood is this thing that they have a lot of anticipation and expectations for us to deliver on excellent in-person events. And I just want everyone to know that we are highly invested and committed into having incredible organized play programs coming through. And I think you can see the start of that with the 4 calling events.
Absolutely.
Through Q4, starting with Vegas in September. And 2022 is going to just step that up another level. And I just really look forward to when it's safe to travel again to come into the US and to meeting both of you and to.
We'll be there. If you're there, we'll be there. You have my word. If you're there, we'll be there. We're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be able to make it to the 2021 events. Just the travel is still really tricky from New Zealand. Like it's getting back into the country, which is hard here.
The
even
quarantine.
as a citizen.
Yep, we get it.
Yeah, but look, we'll see what happens. But certainly 2022, I will come to the US. Would love to come to the US and be part of the start of the pro tour, and to have opportunity to meet the fans, and just it's humbling to see the level of passion and support from people like yourself and fans all around the world for this game, this product that we've created. And we'll keep working the hardest and the best that we can to meet expectations and create wonderful experiences that bring people together.
Absolutely. And we definitely believe that. We've put our trust and our faith in you, and we're out there just trying to gather as many passionate players to join the Flesh and Blood community. And it seems at least 99% of the community is great. And we're right behind you, supporting you, opening that product, and giving out welcome decks. So thank you so much again for the opportunity, James. It's a long time coming, since February, March. And I know there are a lot of people that also want to get in on the interview, but thank you for taking out the time today. We appreciate you so much. And we look forward to meeting you in the Flesh and Blood at an upcoming event. Thanks again, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Ada.
Take care, sir.
So much.
Bye, James. Appreciate you so much. Take care.
Thanks, buddy.